You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah by your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through.
Class for today, and this is our class on diluting Wal Bara. Wal Bara, and we're speaking about how to implement allegiance and disassociation, and when to implement allegiance and disassociation in regards to sports. We've already established that it's permissible to indulge in sports as long as, first of all, you a man. Well, women can do sports too, but as far as competitive sports, being a public spectacle, women can't participate in any of that, period, dot. But for men can do competitive public sports as long as the sport doesn't contradict any of our Islamic morals or identity. Now, today, what I'm going to speak about is very important. What about fandom? We just had the Olympics. What about showing our support as a fan? How do we implement allegiance and disassociation in regards to fandom? You're a fan of a person who's a famous sports person, and that person is Muslim. How do we show support if that person is indulging in bad things? So that's what we're going to focus on today. So this class is going to be very important. I want you guys to take notes. So let me put the PowerPoint. I got 3 computers here, and I don't know, I hit the wrong mouse. What is this? Oh, okay, I'm back. I don't know what I did. Okay, let me bring the PowerPoint in. Put the PowerPoint up because we have a special lecture today with Dr. Dramali. So I'm just going to get right into it. No prelude before the class. So we're going to be covering pages 503 through 505 of the book Diluting Wal Bara. Okay? Allegiance and disassociation in regards to fandom. What type of ethics, what type of Islamic ethics we should follow as fans of sports. Okay. First of all, Wal Bara. This concept of allegiance and disassociation is applied in all facets of our life, okay? Even when it comes to fandom, all right? And it gains even more significance. Moderators, is something going on in there? Fame, is that dude? Fame, was it him? What did you ban him?
Yeah, he's out of here.
So you banned him. Let me go ahead and put the thing up. Hold on, guys. We got that hacker. And is anybody else in here? Let me get people out of here. Hold on. Let me see who all is here. Okay. And let me open up did you ban him this time, or did you get a chance to ban him?
Yeah, I banned him. I removed him.
Okay. So let me put the thing up because I didn't know if I had to. And look, y'all see all those checks? Don't put checks in document share docs. That's what because I think he's hitting on that probably. Take the check marks out of everything except for chat, rename, and unmute. So I just took it out, but let me put this back up because he's probably hitting that shared docs to do that. I don't know who puts that. Don't remove that. Just we don't share no documentations here. All right, so let me put this back up, guys. I apologize, but I got the protection on. So y'all just make sure y'all don't let nobody in here. All right, so let's put this back up on the screen. I'm sorry, I apologize. Always shaitan, ain't it? Let me get back. So as Muslims, we implement allegiance and disassociation, in all facets of life, especially sports. You might face some athletes that perhaps it's a team that you like, but that team does actions or engages in behavior that contradicts Islam. So can I still support that team? Or maybe it's a sports athlete, a particular athlete that you like, but he engages in some haram things. Can you support him? That's what we're going to be speaking about today. And there are certain concepts that we need to look at when it comes to fandom. In other words, liking or following a sport, an athlete. We have to be selective in our admiration of people, non-Muslims and Muslims. We have to be selective. If it's a non-Muslim, we want to make sure that this non-Muslim is not indulging or engaging in behavior that contradicts our belief. If it's a Muslim, he cannot engage in behavior that contradicts our morals or belief. We have a hadith where Ibn Masud tells us that a man came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, "O Prophet of Allah, what do you say about a person who loves a group of people, but those people, their deeds are bad?" The Prophet said, on the day of judgment, you will stand with those whom you loved in this world. This is why I tell y'all, be careful of these hip hop artists. How many of you say, I like Cardi B? I love Cardi B. Look at Cardi B. Her lifestyle totally contradicts the lifestyle of a Muslim woman. Why are you admiring her when she walks around naked? Why are you admiring her, when she speaks in a foul, filthy way? Allah is going to raise us up on the day of judgment with those people that we love. The big thing today is this Andrew Tate guy. I don't know why. Look how many people convert to Islam and apostate the next day. This has been happening since the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam received the call to prophethood. I have never seen people cater to a person like they are to this horrific person named Andrew Tate. There's another hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked, "O Prophet of Allah, who are the best amongst us?" He said the best amongst the Muslims were those who had good manners and good behavior before Islam. Those who had good behavior and good manners before Islam, they make the best Muslims. This man, Andrew Tate, there was nothing good about him ever. Even before Islam, what good qualities did he have? This man was accused of rape. He was accused of abusing women. He was accused of all kind of horrific things before Islam. And now that he's a Muslim, he's still accused and on camera doing horrific things. So, what is the big deal? We have to be selective in who we choose to admire. You know, people whose behavior, people whose character, people whose actions contradict us, we supposed to distance ourselves from them, whether they are Muslim or not. I don't care if they are new Shahada, an old Shahada. These are grown women, grown men. Their behavior totally contradicts La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. So we distance ourselves. Okay? Imagine that you are a fan and you admire a soccer player because he's a good soccer player. But look at him. He drinks, he gambles, he has sex out of wedlock. You're supposed to, what are you admiring about him? He's a person that's openly sinning. Just like this Andrew Tate dude. I don't know why they got all this information about him. I mean, this defense about this man is retarded. He was retarded before Islam, and Allah knows best who's sincere in Shahada. It don't matter whether he's sincere or not until his behavior aligns with his behavior aligns with La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. We distance ourselves from that. That's what Islam teaches us. Okay? Again, Allah says, do not help. Allah says, help one another in righteousness, but do not help one another in sin and aggression. And we don't sit around making excuses for grown people who know better either. Exactly. That man was a horrible person before Islam, and he ain't changed. He still is. I pity any woman or any human being that would think to marry him or be hooked up and be friends with him. That man is sick. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for him. He's a grown old man, and he's aware of what he's doing. If he were to die right now, do you think Allah is going to excuse him for his behavior? Do you think Allah is going to say, well, you only been Muslim for a year, so I'm going to let it slide that you went to and celebrated Easter? Do you think Allah is going to say you only were Muslim for a year? I'm going to let it slide, you know, that you hanging out in the clubs and you with women. That ain't how it works. So we have to look at the person, be selective. Be selective. And by the way, guys, just remove that person because I'm sick of sitting looking at it. Remove it. Yeah, and we don't have time for that. We on warfare now. If it's a regular person, they can go join YouTube. All right. So there could be an instance in which a team that you like or an athlete that you like is at odds with the Islamic teachings. He's at odds. I got to distance myself. Okay? And that's what we're failing to do. That's what we're failing to do today as Muslims. Because being a sports fan isn't just a passive activity. Remember, we have to be careful who we give our allegiance to. Remember, Allah says in the Quran, the believers are protectors and supporters of one another. The believers are not protectors, supporters of the unbelievers or the hypocrites. We have this hadith of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. He said, the Prophet, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, said, whoever amongst you sees an evil, let him change it with his hand. If he can't do that, then with his tongue. If he can't do that, then with his heart, which is by hating it and making dua in his heart against it. We don't support sinful people. This is a misconception that Muslims have today, that we just because a person's a new Shahada and a person is famous, we support them even when they commit sin. I don't care who called himself a sheikh and a scholar. That ain't what Allah says. That ain't what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, nor did. The Prophet used to boycott people. Did y'all know that? The companions were new shahadas. If he told them that it's haram to drink and caught them drinking, he would issue the punishment to them. He wouldn't sit there and say, "Oh, you're a new shahada, so we're gonna let it go." And if they continued to do it, he would boycott them. He would have everyone in the community boycott this person until this person stopped the sin. Is that what Muslims are doing with Andrew Tate? Is that what Muslims are doing with these famous celebrities that claim to believe in Allah, but they are the worst, most despicable men and women on earth? Here's another person that claimed to be Muslim. She's standing up on stage, singing naked, on video, drinking, snorting cocaine. And we're supposed to say it's okay. She's a famous singer and she's a Muslim. Give her our support. Is that what the Prophet taught us to do? No, the Prophet would punish that person and kick him out. He would boycott him and also tell him to leave. He would kick him out of the daggone community altogether. You don't want to practice Islam, you got to go. I'm not going to support you when you're making a mockery of our deen. We're supposed to speak out against what's wrong, not sit there and support it. And this is the problem with Muslims today. If you are a famous celebrity, I don't care if you're accused of rape. I don't care if you are accused of being a drug addict. I don't care if you've been in prison for murder. All you got to do is be famous. And these dawah men will surround you and make you a hero and excuse all the filthy things you do. That is not Islam. We have to implement Wal Bara in our personal relationships, just like the Prophet had the companions do and theirs. So you got one question today as a quiz, just one question. A famous basketball player converts to Islam. A year later, he is accused of drugging and raping women, and he has a court case pending. How should he be dealt with by his Muslim fans? What should we do in a case like this? And this is real life. We got a lot of Muslim famous sports men and women who are accused of all kind of crimes, or who are publicly, like those Muslim women on the Olympics team. You're going to sit there. Do we give accolades? Do we give accolades to a Muslim woman for running a track with tight-fitting pants on where you can see her behind? You can see her breasts. You can see her body, but she got a little rag around her head. Do we support people like that? How do we deal with these type of people? Who can answer the question? Let's hear it. How does Islam teach us to deal with these people? Okay, Miss Jackson said if we hear bad things about a person, well, one thing about celebrities, they usually give y'all the proof. That's the good thing. We ain't got to investigate. If it's a famous basketball player raping a woman, they got pictures of him in the clubs, drinking, partying. The woman probably got pictures of her and him kissing or making out. So if it's a famous celebrity, they usually got the proof. Just like in the Olympics, it's right there on video. These Muslim women running track and field, and they're not dressed properly. So how do we deal with these people? We ain't got to do no investigation. The investigation's in our face. Just like with Andrew Tate, he's on video going to church. He's on video praising God. Praising Jesus. How does Islam teach us to handle people like that? Come on, people, let's hear it. But she's right. We investigate to make sure the accusations are correct. And if they are correct, she said, let the person know. Good job, Miss Jackson. Let the person know that what they did was not right. But what about this? This person has a rape case. This is a Muslim who has a rape case pending. What do we do in this case? I want you guys to address this situation. Famous Muslim basketball player with a rape case pending. Not just one, but he's been accused of drugging and raping 6 women. He's got to go to court to prove his innocence. What do we do in this case? Can somebody tell me? Is there anybody in my Zoom room, or are you all just, as usual, just whatever? I want to hear.
We should warn the people in the community about the case that he has of raping people.
Okay, and what? No, is that what you think? You guys agree with her answer? He's accused of drugging and raping women and has a court case pending. How should he be dealt with? That's not really the correct way to deal with it.
Don't have nothing to do with him at all, because he basically dishonored and took a person's life. That's
But wait a minute. He is accused of drugging and raping women and has a court case pending. Y'all know my questions are questions of fiqh, which means y'all got to think. He's accused. There ain't no proof yet. He got to go to court. That's why he's going to court. So how do we handle a situation? A Muslim is accused of committing a crime like that. So, but he claims he didn't. But he got a lot of women claiming he did. So they got to go to court. How do we deal with it? This is a question of fiqh.
We have to let those, the people of the land deal with that situation, because they have more evidence and they could handle it as far as investigations go in regards to that.
What about us? What about you? You're a Muslim. Yeah, we already know he got to go to court. The law of the land gonna deal with him. But how do we handle him? That's why this is a question of fiqh. Think about everything you've learned about Wal Bara. How does the Muslims deal with him in this until his case? What do we do?
We shouldn't support him or follow him anymore as Muslim fans, those who are fans of him.
Is that correct? Do we just say, oh, well, that's wrong too. I'm going to make this quick. That's wrong. We need an answer. Fiqh. Think about it. Come on, people. Y'all can't think.
I would say we should boycott him.
I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean? Just say, okay, boycott. Okay, he's accused of rape and drugs. They accuse you of rape too, Aisha. So we go now just boycott you until you go to court.
We should wait.
No, you can go first. I'm sorry.
Okay, y'all got this. Is a question of fiqh. Y'all see, this ain't no clear answer like that. Come on, somebody else. Okay, Pamela said we have to let the court decide. Yes. And in the meantime, he's kept at a distance. Good job, Pamela. What's wrong with you airheads in Zoom? Y'all don't pay attention to me. Y'all don't use fiqh. Good job, Pamela. In a case like this, the Muslim community will inform him until your court case is settled. We are going to distance ourselves from you. What does that mean? We're not going to support you, and we're not going to boycott you either, because we have to have the evidence. But what we will do is distance ourselves. We're not supporting you, and we're not dissupporting you. We're just having nothing to do with you until your case is decided. Do y'all understand the answer? That's how we handle people like that. If a Muslim is accused of rape, I don't care if he's a movie star or a person in your community. If it's not proven yet, we're going to just stay away from you. You tell everybody to just stay away from him until it comes out. And you keep your women far away. You keep your kids far away. We're not going to boycott you, but we're not going to sit here and break bread with you either. Y'all understand? Is that clear? Okay, guys, I'm going to log out for right now because we have a special lecture in 5 minutes with Dr. Dramali. I want y'all to think about this answer because this is the problem today. People are supporting people who are Muslim, who are accused of bad things like rape. That Andrew Tate guy, he's a horrible human being. He was a horrible human being before he became Muslim. And he's even worse now. And like the prophet said, those who were horrible before Islam, they remain horrible unless they change. That dude is crazy. We don't sit there and support him because he's a celebrity until he proves himself like those companions did. Remember, even Abu Sufyan had to prove himself. Khalid bin Walid had to prove himself. Just because somebody's a rich celebrity, we excuse their filthy sins and they are on camera doing filthy things. Don't get it twisted. I'm going to log out and log back in 5 minutes for Dr. Dramali's class. Okay? Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Look for the stream to go live, guys. Okay, wait a minute. Let me end this one. Y'all got to do better in this Zoom room. I don't know what